Hello, friends, and everybody else watching the show. Welcome back to League on Lock. Now, I know it's a little bit late that we're going over the insane and wild and zany series that was G2 versus Fnatic, but we've got to talk about it a bit. We've got to kind of dive deeper into how this incredible comeback came to fruition from G2, because, I mean, there's a lot to digest from this series. There's a lot you can look at, and there's a lot that both teams will be taking from it afterwards, but we're going to kind of look at how exactly G2 mustered this insane comeback. As you know, games 1 and 2 were, I mean, complete stomps in favor of Fnatic. But game 3 is where things got very exciting and very interesting. And it looked similar to the first 2 games. Fnatic had a great early game in place across the map. They were getting advantages. You got Broxah on Lee Sin. Things are looking fantastic. We've got an early gold lead that's over 1,000 before 10 minutes. I mean, this game's done and dusted. Nemesis is solo killing Caps. There's no way that G2 are going to do this. Fnatic actually are going to sweep a G2, which absolutely nobody would have predicted. And even early on, there were still trade kills. Like, G2 was getting kills across the map too. Eventually, they started evening out. But the trades, it was always a trade up for Fnatic. Even when you're sending 4 people bottom lane or whatever it is. You've got Bwipo on the top lane getting 3 turret plates, so he's getting a disgusting lead over the Kled anyways, even if he's getting a shutdown. And then you have even kills, but Fnatic has absolute map control. They have a sizable gold lead. They grab a free Baron, and this is where things get interesting because G2, they start actually playing smart. They don't want to fight Fnatic when they're behind such huge gold deficits. Kled is getting turrets across the map, and they learned from that Garen game against Vitality where they just kept on fighting. They didn't fight when they were behind, and this is one of the key moments. There's basically 5 mistakes in a row that Fnatic makes. First here, they don't ward the flank, so Mickey gets in for free. The Lantern is late from Hylissang, and of course, Rekkles has flash and his ulti that he doesn't use because it's a great engage from Mickey. And then it's a trade. Fnatic have some vision that they start on this Baron as a 2-man, but they have no idea that Mickey has been behind them the entire time. So G2 comes around. There's really no zoning that's done there, and then it's 2 kills over to G2, which is just slowing the game. That's all they want when they're down such a huge deficit, is just prolonging and losing as little as possible. And then Fnatic completely forgets about the TP. They don't know there's a ward there because they didn't even know Mickey was there. So then it's a couple more kills that are coming over to G2. And then you have this incredible play by Rekkles to basically save the game at this point, because that's going to be a guaranteed Baron for G2 until he makes that nice play. And then we've heard the comms now. You hear both Bwipo and Nemesis saying, we have TP, we have TP, we can TP on them. So Rekkles says, all right, great, I'll keep them around. But he goes too far forward. You have no vision in that bush, and you know that your boys are TPing, so he doesn't need to step forward there. And if he doesn't, if Rekkles survives here, then maybe you're talking about a Baron for Fnatic because they have their AD carry. They're going to take down Wonder here. Yes, there's a TP on Caps and Perks, but maybe they're getting Baron there later on. It doesn't matter. This is now 3 mistakes, I believe, for Fnatic. Here they push off G2. It's an advantage for them, and they have okay vision. I mean, it's not great. You see there's a ward right there, so G2 knows what's going on. So they're not stifled in any way. They actually have better vision than Fnatic here. And the most important thing is, again, they forget about a TP, and you're doing this trade, but Jankos is 2 levels higher than Broxah. Absolutely nobody is zoning them out here. Hylissang is just waiting for a Lantern afterwards. Broxah, it was so close. It was literally to the frame who steals that Baron. But with a 2-level advantage, obviously you're favoring Jankos in that one. He gets the Baron steal. G2 is back in the game. And then it's Fnatic again. They just keep trying these Barons with insufficient vision. G2 completely TPs on it again. It's a double TP. They grab a bunch of kills, and that is pretty much the game. That's game 3, but if you're Fnatic, you shouldn't be tilted off the face of the earth because you've outplayed them in 3 straight games. I don't know if it's a bigger speak towards G2's mental fortitude or Fnatic's lack of, but game 4, that was all the momentum that G2 needed, because then you have these individual outplays. Caps, there's no way he should be surviving that gank. That's right, Grabs, all praise. Claps in the mid lane. You saw the transition from Craps to Claps. Game 4 and 5, 5 was just an absolute disgusting display. G2, what they've done to teams for the majority of 2019, completely embarrassing them, speed running through. But the fact that Fnatic were just so tilted after that third game, which yes, absolutely they should have won, but they had so many positives going for them into that fourth game that it should be an easy reset. It's not even like it was the C9 Team Liquid series where it was game 4 that Cloud9 should have won going into that fifth game. You still had 2 more games if you're Fnatic, but by the time this game got to game 5, they had absolutely no chance. So I was really surprised that we didn't have more of a competitive final 2 games. I know Fnatic should have won that third game, and again, it was those 5 mistakes, really. There's obviously, anytime there's a huge comeback like this, it is a serious combination of misplays and great plays. G2, Mickey had a great engage to get things started. They had better vision control than the team that was more in control of the map. So that is absolutely incredible, but definitely a lot of misplays to look at from the Fnatic side, especially in that game 3, because games 4 and 5. Game 4, it was just about the mechanical outplays and all of a sudden this booming confidence coming back to G2, and game 5 was them absolutely styling on Fnatic. But the difference in mental fortitude between these two squads was absolutely incredible, and you heard after game 2, or going into game 3, the mic check from G2. You heard Perk saying, you know, guys, I've never come back from 0-2, but I'm open to trying new things. They're still laughing. They're joking around when they're down 0-2 in the playoffs, and that's just a testament to, I mean, this team is so goofy and fun-loving that they're not even afraid when they're down 0-2, whereas you see the faces and the reactions of Fnatic when they drop game 3. When you're still leading the series 2-1, they already look defeated, which is absolutely insane. G2, maybe it's just because they've accomplished so much in 2019 already that they're unfazed if they lose. They've clinched Worlds. There's just not as much pressure on them, but man, that mental state that they have, if they carry that into Worlds, even if after some tough losses, they're able to bounce back in that degree. That's pretty incredible, because the change in performance from games 1 and 2 to games 4 and 5 for G2, with the transition in that third game, was absolutely incredible. Fnatic, I really hope this doesn't affect them against Schalke, because I want to see another best of 5 between Fnatic and G2. And Schalke's not a team that you can just sleep and get past. So Fnatic really needs to reset and play like they did in those first 2 games. If they do that, they should have absolutely no trouble going up against Schalke, because we need more G2 versus Fnatic. And I just love this losers bracket setup that we have in the LEC. You're doing things right in Europe.